My fellow magicians, the dawn is breaking on the stage that holds our final destiny. And so, my fellow magicians, let's all go to hell in a fast car and keep it hot. And on today's little pit stop, well, it's looking like we have some good things here, but it's in line, like these reads, I swear to you, maybe we'll get more details here, but it's sort of like we've been getting a repeating message that like something fairly massive is going to happen. It's a positive thing, and it's going to come with like material gifts. And it's like, it kind of goes back and forth a little bit. It's like some of this is just part of an energetic shift that has to do with like your manifestations. So you are actively manifesting whatever these material resources are. Sometimes this is showing up like we had yesterday. Like people are coming into union with their holy guardian angel. They are moving up the magical grades. They're having new spiritual awakenings. And with that process is coming some sort of spiritual and earthly power, which also comes with more responsibility and duty. And think if you're walking a particular way, right? Because I'm not a left-hand path person. I don't denigrate it, but I also can't really speak on it. You know what I mean? I can acknowledge it though. I don't know if left-hand people operate in the same way. Probably similarly, but I don't know. The left-hand path is what it is. So, I'm just saying it's kind of, I don't know that we're going to get too many details about how this is coming in, other than there's like heavy divine ordinance, like major energy shift, like the angels, like the beings are about. And speaking of knowledge and conversation of the holy guardian angel, that does come with, it's been a long time since I've read Abramelin, but that does, when you come into union with your holy guardian angel, supposedly one of the signs of this after you do that is that you get like a certain amount of money. But I believe that when you receive this money or resources, like however it's gonna look, you're supposed to give, like you're supposed to tithe a certain percentage of that. I could be wrong. It's been years since I've read that. And I read like the shitty version. I didn't read like, there's like a shitty version, a shitty translation, which might be the Mathers translation is the shitty translation. And then there's like a better one. But both seem to work because it's really like, it's not that the ritual isn't important, but mostly it's about intention, dedication. Like if you've never read Abramelin, pretty much all Abramelin is to get in touch with your holy guardian angel is, it's a very long process of sort of fasting and cleansing that tends to ramp up as you go. Like it starts like fairly, it's lightweight, no problem. And then as you continue to go on with the ritual, it tends to get like more intense as you go. And it has a lot to do with like, to me, like when I read it, I was just like, oh, this is just kind of about like renouncing your, like you've come into new consciousness, so you have to kind of renounce your former life. When you were living in a particular way and doing particular things that you weren't aware of, you have to confess those things to release them. And so it's a very, very long process of like cleansing, okay? And then there's just like a week where you're doing the actual, like what you would consider like truly like invoking the angel, and then you have to like face the demons. Like once you have your angel, the demons pop up. And then you face the demons together, and then your angel goes, okay, that's cute, but here's everything you did wrong, and like, and then they tell you that. And then you have knowledge and conversation with your holy guardian angel. But you don't have to do it that way. You don't have to do it that way. You just like, if you read that ritual or rituals like it that are designed to do the same thing, that is something. I mean, some people would be called to do like Abramelin as close to like the original as you can possibly get. Some people would be called to do that. But a lot of people, you just read the ritual and you're gonna understand what it's designed to do, the essence of it. And as long as you're doing something that also gets you to do the essence of the thing, you should be fine. And typically, like when I read something, that's like a magical process, and I am determining whether I need to do something in the ritual or if I can do something different. It's going to hit you in a particular way. Like, you can't cheat is what I'm saying. So some things it's like, no, I absolutely have to do this thing. And then for others, it's sort of like, well, I don't have to do this specifically, but I have to do something to where I'm sacrificing something. I have to do something that's going to make me uncomfortable, something that's going to bring me out of my comfort zone. It tends to be stuff like that. But the point is that you have to be honest with yourself when you're deviating from the original. You can't just do whatever you want, right? Like, there are certain ways that you do have to go about it. But you can achieve the same result without getting like super anal about, you know, you have to have river sand outside, and like you have to have your altar set up like in this direction with this specific thing with like a pure silver plate with some shit on it or whatever. You don't need that. Okay, with the Abramelin oil and everything like that, you can just go to Whole Foods, girl. Just go to Whole Foods if you feel like it. All right, so anyway, we're off on a tangent already, but it just like, I have something similar here. And and sometimes it's like we're not talking about a happening or an entity or entities. We're talking about an actual person. But if this is an actual person who would be coming in with like resources, there's also like some sort of like force on this. And that's like the reason why I'm being kind of vague about like forces and this and that, is that everybody has different traditions. Everybody has a different way of talking about that. So like for someone more Christian, that'll be like God has his hand on it, or the angels, or kingdom spouses. For someone who's like more of a mystical, like Hindu person, like that's gonna I don't know a lot of stuff about Hinduism, right? But like they're gonna talk about that differently. A Buddhist is gonna talk about that differently. A Jewish person is gonna talk about it differently. Chaos magician is gonna talk about it differently. A ceremonial magician is gonna talk about that differently. I'm just saying it's all valid, right? And so I don't wanna, I would find it odd maybe if a Muslim person or like a hardcore Christian person was listening to the channel, I could understand why. But at the same time, if you are, check yourself, because you know you're not supposed to be listening to someone like me, okay? Like, so get back on your path. If you took a little pit stop with me today, probably there's a reason for that. But also, if you know your authenticity is like being very strict Muslim, very strict Jew, very, very strict Christian, you can't be listening to channels like this. You gotta go. So that's what we're dealing with. If this is a person, it's something guided by a particular force. Like this is a canon event, unskippable cutscene. And if the message is going to be light, we'll talk about what that is, like explaining what a canon event, unskippable cutscene, and maybe even how that can tie into something like soul contracts, because I hate how soul contracts are talked about, but I could see how I could explain like a soul contract, like what's going on with that within the type of energy mechanics that I talk about. I could see it. Because it's the same thing as something being preordained. Something being preordained is actually not in violation of free will, but we're not cheating it with like before you incarnated, you signed a contract stipulating that you would get like abused by your dad. Like, so you actually can't be bad about it because you signed a contract that said you were fine when you consented to be abused like y'all need to get off of that one. Get out. Okay, so what we're starting with is mature woman and the 10 of coins. So it could be y'all that is the mature woman. And if you're a man, right, we always say when we have woman, man, whatever on the cards, it's not describing an actual gender unless like I hardcore get a hit. Like we're talking about a woman, we're talking about a femme, whatever. That's just describing the way the energy is operating. So a mature woman is someone who can be older. It's somebody who can just be wise beyond their years. It's someone who has come into their own adulthood. Like this is not a mental, emotional, psychological child, right? They are mature, or you are in fact older. And if you are a man, you would be in yin energy, meaning that this 10 of coins, whatever these resources, people, whatever that is, It's not something that you are going out and getting, like doing labor for. You might have done some sort of labor on the back end, but this is something that is just coming to you. You are just sitting there, and so technically, as a man, you would be in yin energy, not yang, right? You are receiving, not like doing. So that's that. And so then secondly, we have judgment and unexpected income. So like I said, this judgment, this is like in the original card or the Smith deck, the way that's drawn is like the angel blowing the trumpet and the people rising up out of the grave, right? So there's like unexpected income, 10 of Pentacles, like this is something out of the blue, but it's like, I'm saying there's something like ordained about it. There's something that's like, the momentum is too great, like we cannot deviate from this any longer, right? So whatever the momentum is on this, it's likely potentially going to come out of nowhere. You're not expecting it. And then finally, we have Gift and the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands has been coming out as a magician. In the yin, in the passive, it might be that you did magic for this gift on the background. And like I said yesterday, you know, these are my gifts. And if you don't know what that's from, that's Nancy Downs from the movie The Craft. After they, some of that movie is great, some of that movie is goofy when it's coming down to the actual magic. I believe that is just after they called the watchtowers on the beach that this is, basically, what they did was what every witch or practitioner will do to open up, like they're creating, like they're delineating the magical like grounds that they are in. They are like designating that this particular area that I am standing in, I am the focal point, and then here, like I am creating a boundary, a magical boundary, and now we're going to do the magic like within the bounds of the territory that I've just set up. For them in that movie, it was just like, oh, we called the watchtowers, and like that was the big, like God descended, and in that movie, the God was called like Mano or something. And so after they just set the magical boundary, this apparently pleased Mano greatly. And so, but it was like what, an invoking, they were, I get confused on invoking and evoking, but like they were invoking their particular god, but this was for Nancy's like initiation, and so she became a child of Mano. And so like after they did this, she was like walking on water and shit, and like they had Dasa being special. Queen of Wands, Dasa. And so the morning after, like, they spent the night on the beach. You can't, anyway, so she was like walking on the water, and then she's just like, oh my God, like, you know, all high on Mano. And then there were these dead sharks, I think, that had washed up on the beach, and it was like a shark of every like type of species that was in the vicinity. And so she was freaking out and on the beach and like touching one of these corpses of the sharks and being like, these are my gifts, like, but I mean, that's kind of true. Like after you come into union with a particular force, you tend to be given gifts, okay, material gifts, and you are also granted the ability to use certain powers of that force, like within reason. And then she fucked up, right? Because she let it all go to her head, and she had to be bound by like another child of Mano. So witch or magician, it is possible that you will be receiving gifts from some sort of process that you have completed. And Queen of Wands, that would also be a reminder to not let certain things go to your head, right? Like watch the egos, like, oh, I'm in the great and powerful Oz or whoever. Like, sure, I guess. But it's just like, check yourself, right? Because that is also an initiation process, is how you handle that. And like I said, when people aren't remembering humility or the balance, right, how we're operating in the energetic ecosystem, you tend to get major backfires. So that's the same thing, by the way, with that mature woman if you're a man. This is something that is being given to you. And so technically you are in a lunar, yin, or feminine energy if you are a man, because you're not doing something, you are simply receiving it. So those are our general energies. We're going to see now. I don't have any of the tarot. Didn't flip up of its own accord this time. So we're going to go into that now. All right, under this, 10 of Pentacles, mature woman, the Ace of Swords. Like I said, like Ace of Swords is something that's popping out. Clarity, truth. This is the truth. Everything I just said was the truth. Some version of it. Okay, so this might be being presented to you to fight some sort of battle. I don't know, but it's possible. Also, it could just be a sign that, like, this is a true message, or it's like a reminder, like, to be righteous about this with what's being given to you. And also there's a crown on this sword. This could be a gift of Raphael. If you're working that way, this could, so that would be, that's an intellectual. I mean, yeah, swords are intellectual, but it's like in yellow, like on the coins, I guess. It might be, well, Gabriel's kind of more of the healer thing. No, Raphael's like a surgeon. I don't know, but it could be Raphael. It could be Archangel Raphael on this. I don't know. Could be. Judgment and unexpected income. 2 of Swords. You might have a decision to make, or since like we've got our eyes closed here, unexpected income. It's something that like you're doing A and B and you don't see C. I'm not getting it as a blockage at the moment. Oh, you know what this could be though? This is the call. Potentially you might deny the call. These are physical manifestations though, so I don't know how you would stop that, but we'll look at it, right? It could be Queen of Wands and gift, 8 of Swords. Oh, this was happening yesterday. It might be that I actually can't tell you what this is, right? The 2 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. If this is not like, I don't see this coming, or I don't want to do this, I don't want to accept this calling, it could be that I cannot give you any further details about what this is. We were getting that yesterday. This is very secret. Like, I can tell you in general that it's coming and that it seems positive and that it involves some sort of gift, resources, money, something. But it's sort of like, I can't tell you anything else because we got now 2 blindfolded people here. So that's either just very secret to me because, you know, it's not my business, or it's just secret in general because like that's kind of how occult, that is the occult. Like, okay, it's not meant to be talked about, especially this really private stuff, especially if we're talking about like patrons and angels, holy guardian angels and all that stuff. That is a very intimate, private process. And so the details of it can't really be talked about like on a general channel, okay? All right, so this Ace of Swords underneath the 10 of Coins, Queen of Pentacles, like, this is most definitely like a major material elevation, okay? It could also be, this is giving, you know, Mary, Queen of Heaven and, okay, so Mary, right? The Queen of Heaven and Earth, also the Empress of Hell, but this would be Queen of Earth. But like the swords is more, the swords are more celestial. So this is kind of like crowning Queen of Heaven and Earth. And then Hell, the Queen of Wands is here, so could be something like that. But it is some sort of, like I'm saying, holding the pentacle, this is some sort of gift, and it's like coming off as celestial. We did have the Devil yesterday because of the material aspect on this, so it's like everything moving in tandem, which is why it would be coming across so major, because this is like all of the elements together. So let's see, this Judgment, unexpected income, 2 of Swords. We have 2, oh yeah, you don't see this coming. 8 of Wands, Ace of Wands, and we were getting that Ace of Wands a lot yesterday as well. It's sort of like, and this is energy. This is energy, forces, judgment, like angels. It's something that is happening materially, but it is due to something non-corporeal. Okay, and so, I mean, like that's, and it's happening relatively quickly, I would say, but it's just a very strong thing. Strong magic, strong energy, strong force that is attracted to you, and it's also positive. All right, Queen of Wands gift with the Eight of Swords, the Hermit. The Hermit is someone, you could call the Hermit an ipsissimus, probably a type of ipsissimus. And that's also someone who's sequestered as well. So especially if you know you have been like secluded in your own process, you haven't been doing a lot of socializing, things like that. That was from yesterday as well. Okay, so let's go ahead. I will pull some details on this Page of Cups. Something is being presented to you. That's a herald. And that's also energy. The cups are still energy. Seven of Cups and Six of Cups. So we have all cups here. But that's like a dream. Again, with the dream state, it's like something's going to be presented to you in a dream with the Seven of Cups. Or it's something that you it could be a vision quest, something like that, meditation, something coming up to you and presenting this to you or part of it in a dream, a vision, or meditation, or it's something that you visualized. All right, in our second column with our unseen, energetic, like whammy happening here. I'm probably not gonna have time to do like the cutscene and preordained stuff today. Oh, Six of Coins flipped out. Something, I don't know, like it's something being presented to you. Knight of Wands, this is quick, it's passionate. Here it is. Here you go. Wheel of Fortune. Oh my God, that's crazy. Like this is just part of that like big shift. Here's some stuff. Like here you go. Like because like I said, I haven't seen people on this. Like we have knights and pages, like we have queens in the receiving, right? We have people there and the Hermit in the receiving, but everything that is talking about the thing that is giving whatever it is, it's like energy, it's the Judgment card, it's the Wheel of Fortune, and it's pages and knights. And that's very much like messengers of the divine. That's what that is. It's not like a person, a human being. All right, so let's go with our Queen of Wands gift, Eight of Swords, Hermit. Death flipped up. Three of Wands, Two of Coins. This is like multiple things that are the result of, okay, so there are incoming Two of Coins. That's something that might throw you off balance. I don't know. But what it's giving is coming towards you are multiple material things that perhaps will throw you off because it is unexpected and powerful, right? And this is a result of a major transformation or change that you have been through. Likely this is going to be, and as well, this will set off, it's like a catalyst for another transformation. It's sort of like the interior world changed and now the exterior world changed because everything is pre-recorded. I'm going to go around one more time for this one. And then we'll go ahead and get our final advice outcome because I'm not, Nine of Coins on this Three of Wands. That might be the result. This is just sort of saying this is coming towards you. If you're not in the Nine of Coins already, then like that's going to be what is going on. But it just means somebody who's in, because like the Hermit and the Nine of Coins are both in solitude. And this is giving a very non-gendered read. Like, because I mean, we don't really have any kings out here, but that's more because like even the Hermit, like being a man on the card, that's a very yin man. So we don't have like a lot of active energy besides the Knight of Wands, like Eight of Wands, but that's not a person. Two of Coins, the Star. Like, Every man and woman is a star. It's just like you for whatever you've done, it's just sort of like you can't be treated as you are any longer. You can't stay as you are any longer in the material world because you are simply not that anymore. Like, that's just it. And I mean, if you try and deny it, that's going to be probably pretty painful. It's going to be hard to do. Like, once you change, you have to leave. And things start messing up when you don't. I'm thinking of several instances right now. There's one going on right now where I'm watching somebody who's supposed to be transitioning to a different space, and they're trying to like somehow hang on to both. And so I'm just watching like, oh, this is about to be interesting. And it's wild to me. If I explain the situation to you, you would be like, why would that person not want to go to that thing? And I'm just like, because people are scared, even when something is incredibly positive, like incredibly positive, people are scared to leave the places that they know. And it's just true. And it gets very, very sad. Okay. So Death, the High Priestess, this is like an inner transformation. Like, I'm not going to be able to get like specifics on what this is. This is all kind of still like an intensely private sort of read. So let's clear the board and then let's go ahead and get to our final advice outcome. It's been showing as outcome because I really can't give any advice. There's nothing that the viewer, whoever I'm speaking to, has to do. The work is already done. So typically we just get outcome on this, but who knows? Maybe there's some advice. All right, we have, well, here it is. There's the Six of Cups, right? There it is. So somebody's presenting something to you. Probably it's a non-corporeal thing. But like I said, it's like bigger than you, right? Something bigger than you is giving you something. That's good. Nine of Cups. It's something you like. It's something positive. Something good. And you're meant to hold on to it. I will get more. This is like, on that Four of Coins, remember what I said about tithing or giving? Something about this, yes, some of it is meant for you, or it's sort of like you're going to be receiving multiple things. But I would say, remember that there's part, like you are supposed to like give something, I would say. I'm going to pull a couple more on that Four of Coins because, hanging on to things too tightly is not the way, okay? Knight of Wands. This is supposed to, in some way, make you more mobile, like give you more freedom. And so it's sort of like just sitting on it, like sitting in your house and sitting on it like a hermit, right? Is kind of not what it is. This is something about like, we're giving you this so you can go and do something. And it's something that like you want to do, I would guess. But like sometimes that like people like will be like, oh, if I had this money, I would do this. And so then like they deliver the money to you. But instead of actually doing the thing that you wanted to do in the first place, it's like, well, like I can, like this makes me, the money makes me feel safe. So I'm just going to sit here. Like, I don't actually want to do anything with the money because if I get rid of the money, then I'm not safe again. So like there's some sort of warning about that on this, that this is, something's being given to you to allow you more freedom. So don't like hang on to it and just sit there, right? Like that's kind of not like, especially if you've been the hermit, if you've been closed off, it's sort of like that part of your process is now done. We need you to like go out. We need you to go out and do something. So like there's that. The Sun and the Ten of Swords, there's something about like fear of freedom on this, or because like the Knight of Wands and the Sun is very much, it's like people going fast on horses outside. It might be that, like, think about that. Like, do you have a fear of freedom? Do you believe that if you, like, let go, that you will be destroyed, because in fact, it's the staying in one place that will do that to you. This deck. Let me get some on this Ten of Swords. That's an uncomfortable thought for some people to really explore. In what ways do you want to be enslaved? In what ways do you want to be imprisoned? True freedom, liberation is frightening for most of us, okay? And like, you're gonna come to like levels of that where you're being granted opportunities and making decisions in which, if you're paying attention to yourself and your hesitations or your choices, you will look back and be like, I in fact did that to I imprisoned myself. Why did I do that? Why did I not want to be free? Why did I want to be enslaved to that person or that situation? And like, it's a simple and complex thing that most people are going to be afraid of becoming more than what they have been. Like, because we're already that thing, but we're not necessarily expressing it because we don't maybe have the capacity. Because some things, people are like, well, you can do whatever you want. And it's just like, in the real world, right? If you are a trans woman, you're already a woman, right? However, depending on who you are, you might not feel like you resemble a woman. And so if you go out into the world, you are a woman, but the way the world is responding to you, people in society, they aren't going to necessarily treat you like a woman or use your correct pronouns, right? It is not until you change the outside to resemble what people expect a woman to resemble that other people are going to respond to you in that way. Because most of the world is very, very base, and they don't understand performance of gender. They don't like, if you say that it's a social construct or whatever, like, people are just going to think you're ridiculous. Well, no, well, this is this and that is that. And it's like, that's another way. Gender can be another way that we imprison ourselves, gender performance. And here's the thing, is that there's nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong with being cis or wanting to perform traditional gender values within your relationships or within society. But to actually do that for real, you have to choose it consensually. And you can't actually choose that consensually until you're free from it, at least mentally. And so for someone being trans, they, like, what's going to stop them from being trans is, depending where they are, they could be murdered for being trans, okay? They can be murdered for that if they start trying to perform their gender, and maybe they haven't had corrective facial surgery. Maybe they don't have a lace front, okay? Maybe they do not have access to hormone treatments, all of that. And they try and do what is in their current material power to do. Well, to the outside world, that is strange to them. And so when people are encountering something that they feel is strange or weird or scary, they're going to try to destroy it. They're going to try and either make it fit the box that they expect, or they will try to annihilate it. And that gets extremely dangerous for certain types of people, right? And then when you're talking about things like hormone therapy and lace fronts, or hair transplants, or facial corrective surgery, plastic surgery, you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars. Not everybody has that, okay? And it doesn't make somebody not trans. It's just like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But then having the resources to go through that process is also an arduous thing. There's pain involved with it. There's time. You're spending the resources, and also it's an initiation process within itself. Going through that type of a physical transformation is hard on your mental health, even if it is in fact going to affirm to you what you wanted in the first place. And that's why people don't manifest, okay? And that's just an example. That's just an example. So someone might be non-consensually in a particular sort of prison, but then there are the people who, granted all of the things that they would need to step out of their prison, will still choose the prison. It's just true. All right, on this 10 of Swords, what's happening here? The Hierophant. The World. The Ace of Swords. Jesus, this is like some sort of order in your life, some sort of established order is like done, is over. Something is completely over and we're doing something completely new now. So it's like, I don't know what anybody's hanging on to. But this is also a very emphatic message of like, don't stay where you are. Like, don't, like, that's going to be like death to whatever's happening here. Hierophant, 4 of Cups, like that's just a divine message. The World, 6 of Swords, Ace of Cups. Like I'm saying, we're going forward. We're going forward. We're going into something completely new. And it's a great thing. It's just that there might be something, the nature of the change being quite significant might mean that this is something that is still painful to do, even if it's positive, right? Because we're leaving old ways behind, maybe old communities. And it's just, change is typically uncomfortable. And when it's so massive like this, I could see how it would be the 10 of Swords, all right? Ace of Swords, Strength. It's kind of like you just 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. You're just going to have the courage of your convictions for this. Because once this is granted to you, it's sort of like you have no more excuses. And that's when like it kind of comes down to why people don't manifest and things like that. People will, well, I don't have the money. Well, I don't have this. Well, I don't have that. Well, here is in fact everything that you need. Why are you still here? That's when you know it's not about the money. It's about you. So like that's kind of the final test. That's the final test. Once there are no more excuses and it's yourself, you are the final threshold. And some people do not step through. So my fellow magicians, let's all reach out and touch faith and get a little bit of our personal Jesus on this. You know, we've had a tropical system moving through, not a fairly intense one, but one that's been like for the last few days, it's just been constant rain, overcast, downpours, and it just like, I am so sensitive to shifts in the barometric pressure. That I'm like, I super want to like I've been really consistent with my jogging and everything like that. But it's just like, when the barometric pressure hits me like that, I'm like flattened. And I'm like, I would super like to jog. I don't know, I might feel better about it in the afternoon. But it is just like, I am a sofa slug when we have these sorts of systems moving through. It's like, I can't move. I can't bring myself to go fast when like everything's like pressing down on me. Okay, so Jesus says, where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, I am there in the midst of them. So I don't know if this is like part of these material resources or whatever might involve other people that you will be working together with, or you did in the past, something, or your manifestation, whatever you're getting here, your manifestation is in fact connected to others' manifestations. That tends to be how it works. And so once you receive this, it may be that you start working together with other people because other people want exactly what you want. Other people need you. Other people want you. But you might not have popped up into their little vicinity or been able to until now. And Jesus also says, peace be with you. So it's just like, this is a good thing and it's meant to be a good thing. So if you get rattled, it's sort of like, you know, No, Jesus wishes you peace, okay? Peace be with you. It's supposed to give you peace of mind or something, especially if this is like a concern about money. It is supposed to give you peace, but it's supposed to leave you feeling safe enough for you to move, not to stay stationary. Jesus finally says, I am with you always till the end of to the end of the age. So this is just like support. This is support from the universe, gifts from the universe, your manifestations, which of course we are never ever manifesting alone. We're always doing it with somebody or something. Let us now close out officially, as we mostly always do, with the highest authority. The highest authority, of course, being Bob, our Father who art in heaven. We close with the word of Bob that is good all the time. And by the way, I keep meaning to make like a community tab post about this, and I haven't. I have not forgot about the thank you video. I know I missed that one in August. It's going to be part of a vlog that will probably come out like at the endish of September, because like usually it takes me a long time to film vlogs, but I just wanted to make it a part of like a little life vlog. So that's where like the official thank you video is going to come from. But until then, thank you so much, Collective, for everything that you do on the channel, viewing, watching, engaging, whatever it is, however you're benefiting. And also, especially when you give back to the causes or the people who we highlight who were very much in need. And it was this time Atlas and his new baby, his family, like probably the result that we got was like the ultimate mega happy timeline result on that. So absolutely thank you in the meantime between now and when the thank you video comes out, because I also have not forgot about the cat question. Okay, I do see that. I did like the little question that had come in about that, so I have not forgotten. It's just that like we're trying to stay on top of all the things. Okay, Bob says no pressure, just relax and watch it happen. Like I said, we're all in the yin position, whoever I'm speaking to. Okay, so if it's coming for you, it's just something that you're gonna see. Bob also says you have unlimited power here. You can do that. You can do anything on this canvas, anything. Like this is just reiterating whatever this is. It's a reinforcement of like an internal state that you are already in. You have unlimited power. So it's going to verify your own manifestation abilities probably. It's also going to give you more power within the material world. Okay? Bob finally says, use absolutely no pressure, just like an angel's wing. So like I said, this is not anything that you have to do. It's a gift. And therefore, all you have to do is sit back and receive. So, my fellow magicians, this is reality, and I am your GM, your game master for this, the game of life. But it is we who are the greatest magicians of the age, and perhaps the greatest magicians of all time. And together, you and I will perform the greatest magic trick of all time. We will reverse the polarities of the world, make America great for once. Fly this boat to the moon somehow, shift the world onto the mega happy timeline, perhaps leaving it a much better place than it ever has been before. Because, my fellow magicians, nothing stays. In 50 years or so, it's gonna change, you know. But oh, it's heaven nowadays.